Question 1. What does this road sign indicate? A. No entry for vehicles. B. One-way traffic. C. No parking allowed. D. Stop ahead for inspection. Answers is A. No entry for vehicles. The no entry sign indicates that vehicles are prohibited from entering the road or area in the direction the sign is facing. It's often found at exits or one-way streets. Question 2. What action should a driver take when approaching the sign? A. Stop completely. B. Slow down and proceed. C. Yield to traffic. D. Maintain speed. Answers is A. Stop completely. This is a stop sign. Drivers must come to a complete stop at the stop line or before entering the intersection, then proceed only when it is safe and clear. Question 3. What does the sign mean for driving speed? A. Maximum speed is 50. B. Minimum speed is 50. C. Recommended speed is 50. D. Speed limit ends. Answers is A. Maximum speed is 50. This sign indicates a maximum speed limit of 50. Drivers must not exceed this speed in the area where the sign is posted. Always adapt speed to conditions. Question 4. What does this road sign warn drivers about ahead? A. Road works ahead. B. Rough road surface. C. Hazardous materials. D. Detour required. Answers is A. Road works ahead. The road works sign warns drivers of construction or maintenance work ahead. Drivers should slow down, be alert for workers and equipment, and follow any temporary traffic directions. Question 5. What does this sign instruct drivers to do? A. Enter roundabout. B. Turn left only. C. U-turn permitted. D. Merge right. Answers is A. Enter roundabout. This is a roundabout sign. It indicates a circular intersection where traffic flows in one direction around a central island. Drivers must yield to traffic already in the roundabout. Question 6. What is prohibited when seeing the sign? A. Stopping of vehicles. B. Parking of vehicles. C. Overtaking another vehicle. D. Sounding the horn. Answers is A. Stopping of vehicles. This sign indicates no stopping. Drivers are prohibited from stopping their vehicle for any reason, even briefly, unless traffic conditions require it or in an emergency. Question 7. What does this sign indicate about the road ahead? A. Steep descent. B. Steep ascent. C. Uneven road. D. Road narrows. Answers is A. Steep descent. This sign warns of a steep descent ahead. Drivers should select a lower gear to use engine braking and reduce speed to maintain control. Question 8. What action should a driver take regarding overtaking? A. No overtaking. B. Overtake with caution. C. End of overtaking ban. D. Overtake on right only. Answers is A. No overtaking. The no overtaking sign prohibits drivers from overtaking other motor vehicles. This is often in areas where visibility is limited or hazards are present. Question 9. What does this sign mean for pedestrian safety? A. Pedestrian crossing ahead. B. No pedestrians allowed. C. Pedestrian walkway. D. Children crossing point. Answers is A. Pedestrian crossing ahead. This sign warns drivers of a pedestrian crossing ahead. Drivers must be prepared to stop and yield to pedestrians who are crossing or about to cross. Question 10. What does this information sign indicate? A. Start of a motorway. B. End of a motorway. C. Toll road ahead. D. Expressway exit. Answers is A. Start of a motorway. This sign indicates the start of a motorway or expressway. Specific rules apply, such as minimum speed limits, no pedestrians, and no stopping on the hard shoulder except for. Question 11. What does this sign prohibit? A. Parking of vehicles. B. Stopping of vehicles. C. Loading or unloading. D. Waiting for passengers. Answers is A. Parking of vehicles. The no parking sign prohibits drivers from parking their vehicle in the area. However, brief stops for dropping off or picking up passengers might be allowed unless otherwise. Question 12. What is the primary warning from the sign? A. Uneven road surface. B. Speed bump ahead. C. Slippery road. D. Loose gravel. Answers is A. Uneven road surface. This sign warns of an uneven road surface ahead. Drivers should reduce their speed to maintain control and avoid discomfort or damage to the vehicle. Question 13. What does this sign indicate about the road status? A. You are on a priority road. B. You must give way. C. End of priority road. D. Merging traffic. Answers is A. You are on a priority road. This sign indicates that the road you are currently on is a priority road. This means you have the right of way over traffic from intersecting roads, unless otherwise by traffic lights or police. Question 14. What type of hazard does this sign warn about? A. Falling rocks. B. Steep cliff. C. Uneven road. D. Landslide zone. Answers is A. Falling rocks. This sign warns drivers about falling rocks or debris from the side of the road. Drivers should be vigilant and prepared for obstacles on the road, especially after rain. Question 15. What action is required at an intersection with this sign? A. Give way to others. B. Stop completely. C. Proceed with caution. D. You have priority. Answers is A. Give way to others. The give way sign means you must yield to traffic on the main road. Slow down or stop if necessary, and only proceed when it is safe to do so without impeding other vehicles. Question 16. What does this sign indicate about vehicle entry? A. No motor vehicles. B. No goods vehicles. C. No entry for all. D. No motorcycles. Answers is A. No motor vehicles. This sign means no entry for motor vehicles. It prohibits all types of motorized vehicles, except bicycles and pedestrians, from entering the road or area. Question 17. What does this sign advise about upcoming traffic? A. Traffic light ahead. B. Pedestrian crossing. C. Stop sign ahead. D. Junction ahead. Answers is A. Traffic light ahead. This sign warns drivers of a traffic light ahead. Drivers should be prepared to slow down and stop if the light changes, and to follow the signals. Question 18. What is the primary message of the sign? A. Proceed straight. B. Turn right only. C. One-way street. D. No U-turn. Answers is A. Proceed straight. This is A. Proceed straight mandatory sign. It indicates that drivers must continue straight ahead and are not permitted to turn left or right or make a U-turn. Question 19. What does this sign indicate for goods vehicles? A. No goods vehicles. B. Goods vehicles only. C. Goods vehicles must stop. D. Goods vehicles merge. Answers is A. No goods vehicles. This sign means no entry for goods vehicles. It restricts commercial vehicles or above a certain weight from using that road or area. Question 20. What hazard does this sign warn drivers of? A. Slippery road. B. Wet surface. C. Loose gravel. D. Uneven road. Answers is A. Slippery road. This sign warns of a slippery road ahead, often due to rain, oil, or ice. Drivers should reduce speed, avoid sudden braking, and increase following distance. Question 21. What does this sign indicate for drivers with trailers? A. No vehicles with trailer. B. Vehicles with trailer only. C. Trailer parking. D. Trailer drop-off zone. Answers is A. No vehicles with trailer. This sign means no entry for vehicles with trailer. It restricts vehicles towing trailers from using the road or area beyond the sign. Question 22. What does this sign mean for upcoming road conditions? A. Hump or speed bump. B. Ahead. C. Railway crossing. D. Steep ascent. Answers is A. Hump or speed bump. This sign warns of a hump or speed bump ahead. Drivers should slow down before reaching the hump to avoid discomfort, loss of control, or damage to the vehicle. Question 23. What does this sign indicate about turning? A. No right turn. B. No left turn. C. Right turn only. D. U-turn permitted. Answers is A. No right turn. This sign means no right turn. Drivers are prohibited from making a right turn at the intersection or junction where the sign is posted. Question 24. What does this sign mean regarding turning left? A. No left turn. B. No right turn. C. Left turn only. D. U-turn is permitted. Answers is A. No left turn. This sign means no left turn. Drivers are prohibited from making a left turn at the intersection or junction where the sign is posted. Question 25. What does this sign indicate about turning back? A. No U-turn. B. U-turn permitted. C. Left turn only. D. Dead end ahead. Answers is A. No U-turn. This sign means no. Drivers are prohibited from making a U-turn at this location due to safety concerns or traffic flow management. Question 26. What does this sign indicate for specific users? A. Cycle track. B. Pedestrian zone. C. No cycles allowed. D. Motorcycles only. Answers is A. Cycle track. This sign indicates a cycle track or lane for cyclists. Motorized vehicles are typically prohibited from using this track. Question 27. What does this sign warn about involving children? A. Children crossing area. B. School bus stop. C. Playground ahead. D. No children allowed. Answers is A. Children crossing area. This sign warns drivers of children in the vicinity, typically near schools, playgrounds, or residential areas. Drivers should reduce speed and be extra cautious. Question 28. What does this sign indicate about the road's end? A. Dead end ahead. B. No through road. C. U-turn area. D. Road closed. Answers is A. Dead end ahead. This sign indicates a dead end or no through road straight ahead. Drivers should plan to turn around or find an alternative route. Question 29. What does this sign recommend for drivers? A. Recommended speed 50. B. Minimum speed 50. C. Maximum speed 50. D. Speed limit ends. Answers is A. Recommended speed 50. This sign indicates a recommended speed of 50 under normal conditions. It is not a mandatory limit, but an advisory for safe and smooth traffic flow. Question 30. What does this sign indicate regarding an upcoming curve? A. Dangerous curve right. B. Dangerous curve left. C. Series of curves. D. Sharp turn ahead. Answers is A. Dangerous curve right. This sign warns of a dangerous curve to the right ahead. Drivers should reduce speed and be prepared to steer through the curve safely. Question 31. When is it permissible to use the horn in? A. To warn of danger to other road users. B. To greet a friend on the road. C. To express frustration at traffic. D. To signal readiness at a green light. Answers is A. To warn of danger to other road users. In the horn should only be used to prevent accidents or warn other road users of potential danger. Misuse can lead to fines. Question 32. What is the correct procedure for using a roundabout? A. Give way to traffic from your left. B. Give way to traffic from your right. C. Always enter without stopping. D. Overtake on the inside lane. Answers is A. Give way to traffic from your left. In roundabouts, drivers must give way to traffic already circulating from their left. Indicate your exit with turn signals. Question 33. What is the safe following distance rule in? A. Maintain a gap minimum. B. Follow as close as possible. C. At least one car length. D. Half a second gap. Answers is A. Maintain a gap minimum. The rule is a minimum guide for safe following distance under ideal conditions. Increase this gap in poor weather or heavy traffic. Question 34. When must you use your vehicle's indicators? A. Before changing lanes or turning. B. Only when other cars are around. C. After you've already started turning. D. To thank other drivers. Answers is A. Before changing lanes or turning. Must be used well in advance to signal your intentions to other road users, whether turning, changing lanes, or exiting a roundabout. Question 35. What should you do if your vehicle breaks down on a highway? A. Move to the hard shoulder, use hazard lights. B. Stop in the lane, wait for help. C. Walk away from the vehicle to find help. D. Attempt to fix it in the lane. Answers is A. Move to the hard shoulder, use hazard lights. If your vehicle breaks down on a highway, pull over to the hard shoulder if safe, turn on your hazard lights, and place a warning triangle if available. Remain inside the vehicle if it's safe to do so. Question 36. What is the primary danger of driving in foggy conditions? A. Visibility. B. Engine overheating. C. Increased tire pressure. D. Slippery roads. Answers is A. Visibility. Fog drastically reduces visibility, making it difficult to see other vehicles, pedestrians, or road hazards. Drivers should slow down and use fog lights. Question 37. When encountering a sandstorm while driving, what should you do? A. Pull over safely, turn on hazard lights. B. Speed up to get through it quickly. C. Turn off all lights to reduce glare. D. Use high beam headlights. Answers is A. Pull over safely, turn on hazard lights. During a sandstorm, visibility can drop to 0. It's safest to pull over to the side of the road or a safe area, turn on your hazard lights, and wait for the storm to pass. Question 38. Who has priority at an unmarked intersection? A. Traffic coming from the right. B. Traffic coming from the left. C. The fastest vehicle. D. The largest vehicle. Answers is A. Traffic coming from the right. At unmarked intersections, the general rule is to give way to traffic approaching from your right. Always proceed with caution. Question 39. What is the purpose of A. To prevent injury during a collision? B. To keep drivers alert. C. To improve vehicle aerodynamics. D. To signal an emergency. Answers is A. To prevent injury during a collision. Are designed to restrain occupants in the event of a sudden stop or collision, reducing the risk of severe injury or ejection from the vehicle. Question 40. When driving at night, when should you use low beam headlights? A. When following another vehicle closely. B. On open, unlit roads. C. To signal to other drivers. D. When parking temporarily. Answers is A. When following another vehicle closely. Low beam headlights should be used when there is oncoming traffic or when following another vehicle closely to avoid dazzling other drivers. High beams are for open, unlit roads. Question 41. What does this sign mean for cyclists? A. Cyclists crossing or leaving. B. No cycling allowed. C. Cycle track begins. D. Bike parking area. Answers is A. Cyclists crossing or leaving. This sign warns drivers of cyclists the road. Drivers should be prepared for cyclists and maintain a safe distance. Question 42. What type of intersection does this sign indicate? A. Junction with minor road. B. Roundabout ahead. C. Major road ahead. D. Motorway exit. Answers is A. Junction with minor road. This sign indicates a junction with a minor road ahead. Drivers should be alert for vehicles merging from or turning into the minor road. Question 43. What does this sign indicate about road priority? A. End of priority road. B. Start of priority road. C. Give way ahead. D. Stop sign ahead. Answers is A. End of priority road. This sign indicates the end of priority road. Drivers should now be prepared to give way or follow other priority rules at upcoming intersections. Question 44. What does this sign indicate for driving direction? A. One-way road. B. Two-way traffic. C. No entry. D. Dual carriageway. Answers is A, one-way road. This sign indicates a one-way road. Traffic flow is permitted in one direction only. Drivers must not drive against the flow. Question 45. What does this sign advise drivers to do? A. Turn right ahead. B. Turn left ahead. C. Proceed straight. D. No right turn. Answers is A. Turn right ahead. This is a turn right mandatory sign. Drivers must turn right at the upcoming intersection or point where the sign is. Question 46. What does this sign mean for goods vehicles? A. No overtaking for goods vehicles. B. Goods vehicles must overtake. C. End of ban for goods vehicles. D. Goods vehicles only. Answers is A. No overtaking for goods vehicles. This sign means no overtaking for goods vehicles, or commercial vehicles above a certain weight are prohibited from overtaking other vehicles. Question 47. What does this sign indicate about road condition? A. Loose gravel. B. Slippery road. C. Road works. D. Uneven surface. Answers is A. Loose gravel. This sign warns of loose gravel or stone materials on the road. Drivers should reduce speed and avoid sudden movements to prevent skidding or stone chips. Question 48. What does this sign indicate for animal crossings? A. Wild animals crossing. B. Cattle crossing. C. Farm animals ahead. D. Zoo entrance. Answers is A. Wild animals crossing. This sign warns of wild crossing the road. Drivers should be particularly alert in rural or desert areas, especially at dawn or dusk. Question 49. What does this sign indicate about parking? A. Parallel parking required. B. Perpendicular parking. C. Angled parking only. D. No parking zone. Answers is A. Parallel parking required. This auxiliary plate the method of parking. Here, it indicates that vehicles must be parked parallel to the edge of the carriageway. Question 50. What does this sign mean for vehicle movement? A. Turn left ahead. B. Turn right ahead. C. Proceed straight. D. No left turn. Answers is A. Turn left ahead. This is a turn left mandatory sign. Drivers must turn left at the upcoming intersection or point where the sign is. Question 51. What does this sign inform drivers about? A. Residential area. B. No entry zone. C. Playground zone. D. Tourist attraction. Answers is A. Residential area. This sign indicates entering a residential area or living zone. Drivers should expect lower speed limits, increased pedestrian activity, and greater caution. Question 52. What does this warning sign indicate? A. Steep ascent. B. Steep descent. C. Uneven road. D. Hump ahead. Answers is A. Steep ascent. This sign warns of a steep ascent ahead. Drivers should be prepared to use a lower gear to maintain power and speed, especially with heavier loads. Question 53. What does this sign indicate about road merging? A. Road narrows on both sides. B. Road narrows on left. C. Road narrows on right. D. Merge right. Answers is A. road narrows on both sides. This sign warns that the road narrows on both sides ahead. Drivers should reduce speed and be prepared for potential merging traffic or lane space. Question 54. What does this sign indicate about the end of a restriction? A. End of speed limit 50. B. Start of speed limit 50. C. Recommended speed 50. D. End of all restrictions. Answers is A. End of speed limit 50. This sign indicates the end of maximum speed limit 50. The general speed limit for the area will now apply, or a new speed limit may be posted. Question 55. What service does this sign indicate? A. First aid post. B. Hospital nearby. C. Police station. D. Fuel station. Answers is A. First aid post. This service sign indicates a first aid post is available nearby. This is useful in where medical attention is needed quickly. Question 56. What does this sign indicate about lane usage? A. Straight or right turn. B. Straight or left turn. C. Only right turn. D. Only straight. Answers is A. Straight or right turn. This mandatory sign indicates that drivers in this lane can proceed straight or turn right. Choose the correct lane well in advance. Question 57. What does this sign indicate for public transport? A. Lane for public transport. B. No public transport. C. Bus stop ahead. D. Tram line ahead. Answers is A. Lane for public transport. This sign indicates a road with a lane for public transport vehicles. Private vehicles are usually prohibited from using this lane. Question 58. What does this sign indicate about specific vehicle access? A. No motorcycles. B. No mopeds. C. Motorcycles only. D. Motorcycle parking. Answers is A. No motorcycles. This sign means no entry for motorcycles. It prohibits motorcycles from entering the road or area beyond the sign. Question 59. What does this sign warn about for drivers? A. Side wind. B. Strong currents. C. Falling objects. D. Low flying aircraft. Answers is A. Side wind. This sign warns of side wind ahead, which can be particularly dangerous for vehicles or motorcycles. Drivers should grip the steering wheel firmly. Question 60. What does this sign instruct about an obstacle? A. Pass obstacle on right. B. Pass obstacle on left. C. Stop for obstacle. D. Obstacle ahead. Answers is A. Pass obstacle on right. This mandatory sign means pass obstacle on the right. Drivers must drive to the right side of the obstacle by the sign. Question 61. What is considered a safe driving practice in adverse weather? A. Reduce speed and increase following distance. B. Turn on hazard lights constantly. C. Maintain normal speed. D. Use high beams at all times. Answers is A. Reduce speed and increase following distance. In adverse weather, rain, fog, sandstorms, visibility and traction are. Reducing speed and increasing following distance provides more time to react and stop safely. Question 62. What is the primary purpose of a reflective warning triangle? A. To warn other drivers of a broken down vehicle. B. To signal a turn at night. C. To mark a parking spot, D. To indicate a speed limit. Answers is A. To warn other drivers of a broken down vehicle. A warning triangle is used to alert oncoming traffic to a stationary or broken down vehicle, especially on highways or in low visibility, giving drivers time to react and avoid collision. Question 63. What should you do if an emergency vehicle approaches with sirens and lights? A. Pull over to the right and stop safely. B. Continue driving at your current speed. C. Speed up to clear the way. D. Stop in the middle of the road. Answers is A. Pull over to the right and stop safely. It is mandatory to yield to emergency vehicles. Pull over to the nearest edge of the road, usually the right, and stop, allowing them to pass safely. Question 64. What is the primary risk of distracted driving? A. Reaction time. B. Increased fuel consumption. C. Faster tire wear. D. Improved vehicle performance. Answers is A. Reaction time. Distracted driving, such as using a mobile phone, diverts attention from the road, significantly increasing reaction time and the risk of an accident. Question 65. When are children required to use a child safety seat in? A. Under 4 years of age. B. Under 10 years of age. C. Under 12 years of age. D. Only if they are very small. Answers is A. Under 4 years of age. In the children up to the age of 4 years must be seated in an appropriate child safety seat. Children below 10 years or shorter than 145 should sit in the rear. Question 66. What is the correct way to merge onto a highway? A. Match speed with traffic, signal, and merge safely. B. Stop at the end of the ramp and wait for a gap. C. Speed up rapidly and force your way in. D. Slow down before entering the main road. Answers is A. Match speed with traffic, signal, and merge safely. When merging onto a highway, use the acceleration lane to match the speed of the existing traffic, signal your intention, and find a safe gap to merge smoothly. Question 67. What should you check before starting a long journey? A. Tires, oil, water, brakes, and lights. B. Only the fuel level. C. The radio station settings. D. The car's interior cleanliness. Answers is A. Tires, oil, water, brakes, and lights. Before a long journey, it is crucial to perform a basic vehicle check to ensure all vital components like tires, fluids, and lights are in good working order for safety and reliability. Question 68. What is defensive driving? A. Anticipating hazards and planning for them. B. Driving aggressively to avoid slow drivers. C. Only reacting to immediate dangers. D. Always having priority on the road. Answers is A. Anticipating hazards and planning for them. Defensive driving involves anticipating potential hazards by other road users or road conditions and taking action to prevent accidents rather than just reacting. Question 69. When turning left at an intersection, who has priority? A. Oncoming traffic going straight or turning right. B. The vehicle turning left. C. Traffic from the side road. D. Pedestrians only. Answers is A. oncoming traffic going straight or turning right. When making a left turn, you must yield to any oncoming traffic that is proceeding straight or turning right, as they typically have the right of way. Question 70. What is the correct lane to use for overtaking on a multi-lane highway? A. The leftmost lane. B. The rightmost lane. C. Any available lane. D. The hard shoulder. Answers is A. The leftmost lane. On multi-lane highways the leftmost lane is generally as the overtaking lane. After overtaking, drivers should return to a rightward lane. Question 71. What is the maximum legal height for a vehicle including its load in the A. 420 meters, B. 350 meters, C. 50 meters, D. 280 meters. Answers is A. For 20 meters. According to traffic laws, the maximum legal height for a vehicle, including its load, is for 20 meters. Exceeding this requires special permits. Question 72. When is it illegal to reverse your vehicle in the A. On a main road or highway, B. In a parking lot, C. When parking in a spot, D. To exit a driveway. Answers is A. On a main road or highway. Reversing on main roads or highways is highly dangerous and illegal except in specific situations like emergency services. Always use U-turn areas. Question 73. What is the legal requirement for using mobile phones while driving? A. Hands-free system only. B. Holding the phone is allowed if careful. C. Only for. D. Not restricted in any way. Answers is A. Hands-free system only. Using a handheld mobile phone while driving is illegal only hands-free devices are permitted for communication to ensure driver focus remains on the road. Question 74. What should you do if your brakes fail while driving? A. Pump the brake pedal, shift to a lower gear. B. Immediately open the car door. C. Turn off the engine. D. Rely solely on the parking brake. Answers is A. Pump the brake pedal, shift to a lower gear. If your brakes fail, pump the pedal rapidly to try to build pressure. Shift to a lower gear to use engine braking, and if safe, apply the parking brake gently to slow down. Question 75. What is the purpose of chevron markings on the road? A. To separate traffic lanes or indicate an area not to enter. B. To indicate a pedestrian crossing. C. To mark a dedicated bus lane. D. To show upcoming roadworks. Answers is A. To separate traffic lanes or indicate an area not to enter. Chevron markings are used to guide traffic and indicate areas drivers should not enter, often found at merges, diverges, or to separate opposing traffic flows on wide roads. Question 76. What is the general speed limit in residential areas in A. 40 km per hour, B. 60 km per hour, C. 80 km per hour, D. 100 km per hour? Answers is A. 40. The general speed limit in most residential areas across the is 40, unless otherwise by specific signage, to ensure pedestrian safety. Question 77. When approaching a school bus with flashing stop signs, what should you do? A. Stop completely in both directions. B. Slow down and pass carefully. C. Only stop if you are behind the bus. D. Overtake if safe. Answers is A. Stop completely in both directions. Drivers must stop in both directions when a school bus activates its flashing stop arm and lights, giving children ample space and time to safely board or alight the bus. Question 78. What does a broken white line on the road indicate? A. You may change lanes if safe. B. Do not cross the line. C. A parking area. D. An emergency lane. Answers is A. You may change lanes if safe. A broken white line that you may change lanes or overtake if it is safe to do so. A solid white line means you must stay in your lane. Question 79. What is the main purpose of a hard shoulder on a highway? A. For emergency stops or breakdowns. B. For overtaking slow vehicles. C. For regular parking. D. For resting during long drives. Answers is A. For emergency stops or breakdowns. The hard shoulder is strictly for emergency use, such as vehicle breakdowns, medical, or to yield to emergency vehicles. Driving on it unnecessarily is illegal. Question 80. What is the legal blood limit for alcohol when driving in? A. 0, B. 0, 8, C. 0, 5, D. 0, 2. Answers is A. 0. The has a policy for driving under the influence of alcohol. Any detectable amount can lead to severe. Question 81. What should you do if you are involved in a minor traffic accident? A. Move vehicles to the shoulder, call police. B. Leave vehicles in place until police arrive. C. Exchange details and leave. D. Fix it yourself and drive away. Answers is A. Move vehicles to the shoulder, call police. For minor accidents without serious injury, move your vehicles to the side of the road to avoid obstructing traffic. Then, contact the police for an accident report, which is mandatory in the. Question 82. When is it mandatory to use your headlights in the A. Between sunset and sunrise and in poor visibility. B. Only on highways. C. During the day for better visibility. D. Only when it is raining heavily. Answers is A. Between sunset and sunrise and in poor visibility. Must be used from sunset to sunrise and at any other time when visibility is significantly, such as during fog, heavy rain, or sandstorms, to ensure you can see and be seen. Question 83. What is the safest way to change lanes? A. Signal, check mirrors and blind spots, then move. B. Signal, then quickly move into the next lane. C. Accelerate and force your way into a gap. D. Only use mirrors, not blind spots. Answers is A. Signal, check mirrors and blind spots, then move. Always signal your intention, check your and side mirrors, and then perform a head check to ensure your blind spot is clear before carefully steering into the new lane. Question 84. What does a flashing red traffic light indicate? A. Stop completely, then proceed if clear. B. Slow down and proceed with caution. C. Yield to oncoming traffic. D. Prepare to stop. Answers is A. Stop completely, then proceed if clear. A flashing red light should be treated like a stop sign. You must come to a complete stop, and then proceed only when the intersection is clear and it is safe to do so. Question 85. When is it illegal to make a U-turn in the A. Where a no sign is posted. B. At any intersection. C. When there is no traffic. D. Only during peak hours. Answers is A, where a no sign is posted. U-turns are prohibited where explicitly forbidden by a no sign or at locations where it would be dangerous, such as on bridges, tunnels, or near blind curves. Question 86. What is the primary rule for parking facing traffic? A. Vehicles must always park in the direction of traffic. B. It is allowed on quiet streets. C. Only if there is no yellow line. D. Parking against traffic flow is never an issue. Answers is A. Vehicles must always park in the direction of traffic. Parking against the flow of traffic is generally illegal and unsafe as it poses a hazard when entering and exiting the parking spot, forcing you to drive against traffic briefly. Question 87. What are the rules regarding driving on the hard shoulder? A. Only for or authorized vehicles. B. To overtake slow vehicles. C. When traffic is heavy. D. To make a quick exit. Answers is A. Only for authorized vehicles. The hard shoulder is not a regular driving lane. It is reserved for breakdowns or use by authorized emergency vehicles to ensure traffic flow is not impeded. Question 88. What should you do if a pedestrian is crossing the road at an unmarked location? A. Slow down and be prepared to stop. B. Continue driving. They should use a crossing. C. Honk loudly to make them hurry. D. Speed up to pass before they cross. Answers is A. Slow down and be prepared to stop. Always be prepared for pedestrians, even if they are not using a crossing. Slow down and be ready to stop, giving them priority as a vulnerable road user. Question 89. What is the penalty for not wearing a in the A fine and potential black points. B. A warning only. C. Community service. D. Nothing if the driver is alone. Answers is A fine and potential black points. Not wearing a, for both drivers and passengers, is a serious offense in the a fine and black points on the driver's license. Question 90. What should you do before exiting your vehicle after parking? A. Check for oncoming traffic or cyclists. B. Open the door immediately. C. Leave the engine running. D. Honk to signal your exit. Answers is A. Check for oncoming traffic or cyclists. Before opening your car door, always check your mirrors and blind spot for approaching vehicles, cyclists, or pedestrians to prevent accidents and ensure safety. Question 91. What action should you take if your tire bursts while driving? A. Grip steering wheel firmly, gradually slow down. B. Slam on the brakes immediately. C. Accelerate to maintain control. D. Steer sharply towards the hard shoulder. Answers is A. Grip steering wheel firmly, gradually slow down. If a tire bursts, maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel, keep the vehicle straight, and gradually reduce speed by easing off the accelerator, then pull over safely. Question 92. What does a continuous yellow line on the side of the road indicate? A. No stopping or parking. B. Parking allowed for limited time. C. Loading zone. D. Bus stop area. Answers is A. No stopping or parking. A continuous yellow line typically indicates a no stopping or no parking zone. You cannot stop or park your vehicle in this area for any reason. Question 93. What is the correct procedure for stopping at a red traffic light? A. Stop behind the stop line. B. Stop partially over the stop line. C. Stop after the intersection. D. Slow down and proceed if clear. Answers is A. Stop behind the stop line. Drivers must stop completely before the stop line, or if there is no stop line, before the pedestrian crossing. This prevents blocking pedestrian paths and allows to flow. Question 94. What should you do if you miss your exit on a highway? A. Continue to the next exit and turn around. B. Reverse on the hard shoulder to reach it. C. Stop and wait for a gap to reverse. D. Make a sharp turn across lanes. Answers is A. Continue to the next exit and turn around. Never reverse or stop on a highway to reach a missed exit. It is safer and legal to proceed to the next available exit and then find an alternative route back. Question 95. What is the recommended hand position on the steering wheel? A. 9 and 3 o'clock. B. 10 and 2 o'clock. C. 12 o'clock with one hand. D. Any comfortable position. Answers is A. 9 and 3 o'clock. The 9 and 3 o'clock position or allows for better control, reduces fatigue, and is safer in vehicles equipped with airbags compared to the 10 and 2 position. Question 96. What does it mean if a traffic light is not working? A. Treat it as a stop or yield to right. B. Proceed without stopping. C. It means the road is closed. D. Only emergency vehicles can pass. Answers is A. Treat it as a stop or yield to right. If traffic lights are not working, treat the intersection with extreme caution. Generally, it defaults to a stop, or drivers should yield to vehicles on their right. Question 97. What is the rule for driving with headlights in the fog? A. Use low beam headlights and fog lights. B. Use high beam headlights. C. Do not use any lights to avoid glare. D. Only use parking lights. Answers is A. Use low beam headlights and fog lights. In fog, low beam headlights and fog lights, if equipped, are most effective. High beams can reflect off the fog, reducing visibility even further for the driver. Question 98. What is the maximum penalty for serious traffic offenses in the A. Large fines, black points, vehicle confiscation, imprisonment. B. Small fines only. C. A warning and a small fine. D. Only black points. Answers is A. Large fines, black points, vehicle confiscation, imprisonment. Serious traffic offenses in the, such as reckless driving or causing death, can lead to severe, including hefty fines, black points, vehicle confiscation, and imprisonment. Question 99. What is the rule for overtaking on the right in the A. Generally prohibited, except in specific cases. B. Always allowed on multi-lane roads. C. Only if the left lane is blocked. D. Permitted if the vehicle ahead is turning left. Answers is A. Generally prohibited, except in specific cases. Overtaking on the right is generally prohibited in the, with exceptions like when traffic is moving in dedicated lanes and the vehicle in the left lane is clearly signaling a left turn or moving slowly. Question 100. What should you do if an animal suddenly runs onto the road? A. Brake safely if possible, avoid sudden swerving. B. Swear sharply to avoid it at all costs. C. Accelerate to pass it quickly. D. Honk continuously without braking. Answers is A. Brake safely if possible, avoid sudden swerving. If an animal runs onto the road, try to brake safely without swerving suddenly, especially if it means swerving into oncoming traffic or off the road, which can cause a more dangerous accident.